Ladies and gentlemen, in this Bible context, we'd like to say, divine acceleration is not just a catchy phrase. It's a reality for those who walk with God. There are seasons in your life where it feels like nothing is moving, nothing is shifting, and every step forward seems like a struggle uphill. You pray, you fast, you believe, and yet everything around you remains still. But God doesn't work on human timelines. He's not limited by the calendars we create or the clocks we watch. He operates outside of time because he created it. And when the time is right, when the foundation is laid and your heart is aligned, God doesn't just open a door. He launches you through it. There are moments when God looks at your life and says, now. And when he says now, things move quickly. Things that were held up for years can break open in days. Situations that looked dead suddenly breathe again. The relationships, resources, ideas, and opportunities that seemed out of reach suddenly find their way into your lap. And not because you manipulated the situation, but because you were positioned in obedience and trust. That's divine acceleration. It's God doing more in a moment than you could have done in a decade. You see, God is not interested in you striving your way into your purpose. He's interested in you becoming the person who can carry your purpose. And once you've been refined, once your identity has been shaped and your motives have been purified, then acceleration can begin. Why? Because now you're ready to handle the weight of what's coming. God won't bless you beyond your ability to sustain the blessing. It's too wise for that. But once you've matured into the person he's been forming in the quiet places, you'll begin to see things shift so fast, it'll make your head spin. Divine acceleration looks like open doors you didn't knock on. It looks like people coming into your life at exactly the right moment. It looks like getting random calls that change your entire trajectory. But it's not random. It's not accidental. It's heaven's timing. Divine acceleration is when the delay turns into delivery, and not just little by little, but all at once. God doesn't need to take 10 years to do what he can do in one. When his hand is on your life, things move. And when he says it's time, nothing can stand in the way. But here's what's most powerful. Divine acceleration doesn't just elevate you. It redeems the time. God is a redeemer of time. He knows the years you feel like you lost, the mistakes you made, the setbacks you endured. And when acceleration comes, it doesn't just propel you forward. It restores what was lost. It redeems what was broken. It makes it as though the detour was all part of the plan, because in his hands, even delay becomes destiny. So don't be discouraged by the wait. Don't let the stillness fool you. Just because it's quiet doesn't mean it's over. It means you're being positioned for something greater than you imagined. And when it breaks open, when the acceleration hits, don't try to explain it. Just walk in it. Others will try to figure it out. They'll ask what you did, how you got here, and all you'll be able to say is, God. Because divine acceleration is not something you earn. It's something you receive. It's a gift. It's a manifestation of grace. And when it comes, it's unstoppable. So get ready. The pace of your life is about to change. And when it does, it won't look like hustle. It'll look like heaven. There's something powerful that happens when God moves in your life. So powerful, in fact, that it leaves people speechless. They'll see the doors opening for you. They'll notice the sudden favor, the breakthrough, the shift, the blessings rolling in. And the only word they'll have for it is luck. That's the only box they'll be able to put it in. But you know better. Because this didn't happen by chance. It didn't happen because of a four-leaf clover or some lucky break. It happened because God ordained it. People love to explain away what they don't understand. They're trying to analyze it, rationalize it, define it in human terms. They'll say you were just in the right place at the right time, or you knew the right people. Well, man, that timing was perfect. But deep down, you'll know that no human effort or coincidence could have orchestrated what God did in your life. It was too precise. Too perfect. No, purposeful. That wasn't luck. That was alignment with heaven. There are going to be moments when God elevates you so suddenly, so powerfully, and so publicly that the people who once overlooked you won't be able to ignore you. The same people who thought you were crazy for holding on to your faith will watch you walk in favor they can't comprehend. And when they see it, they'll struggle to find the words. Wow, you're lucky, they'll say. But behind your smile, you'll know the nights you prayed, the days you fasted, the tears nobody saw, the obedience when it was inconvenient, the faith you kept when everything in you wanted to quit. Yeah. What looks like luck to the world is actually the reward of endurance, obedience, and grace, and not just your obedience, God's goodness. Because here's the truth. God doesn't need the approval of people to promote you. He doesn't need a committee or a crowd to move in your life. He just needs a moment. And when that moment comes, everything can shift. Your name, your status, your finances, your relationships, your reputation, all at once. And the world won't have a categoric for it. So they label it what they know. Luck. But we don't live by luck. We live by faith. We live by promise. We live by the word. And when the word becomes flesh in your life, when the promises of God start showing up in real time, it confuses those who went listening for his voice. They went watching for his hand. So to them, it seems sudden, out of nowhere. Like you just blew up overnight. But what looks like overnight success is actually the result of long nights in the secret place. So don't be discouraged when others minimize what God is doing in your life. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them whisper about how lucky you are. Because their misunderstanding doesn't diminish your miracle. You don't have to convince anyone that it was God. Your life will speak for itself. The fruit will speak. The favor will speak. And eventually, even the doubters will have to admit that this isn't luck, this is divine. In fact, your story might just be the very thing that makes someone else believe. Because when people see something they can't explain, they start searching for answers. And what they call luck may actually lead them to the one who's behind it all. Your blessing isn't just about you. It's a sign, a testimony, a divine billboard that says, God still moves. So don't shy away from the favor. Don't downplay the breakthrough. When they say you're lucky, just smile and say, no, I'm loved. There's a lie the enemy loves to whisper into your spirit when things don't happen on your timeline. It hasn't happened by now, it's never going to. And if you're not careful, you start to agree with that lie. You start to confuse delay with denial. You begin to think that because God hasn't moved yet, maybe he doesn't plan to at all. But hear me. Just because it's being delayed doesn't mean it's being denied. Sometimes God doesn't cancel the promise. He calibrates the timing. Yes, you see, the waiting season is not punishment, it's preparation. When God gives you a vision, a promise, or a dream, he's not just focused on what he's going to do for you. He's focused on who you need to become to carry it. Because blessing without foundation will collapse. Favor without character will self-destruct. So God holds the door shut, not because he's cruel, but because he's careful. He loves you too much to let you walk into something you're not ready for. What if I told you that the reason it hasn't happened yet isn't because God forgot, but because he's setting you up for something bigger than you prayed for? What if you're not being overlooked? You're being overprepared. Sometimes the delay is where God strengthens your faith, builds your endurance, and matures your vision. The waiting room becomes the training ground. He's building a version of you that can handle what's coming. Because when the shift does happen, it won't be gradual. It'll be sudden. It'll be swift. The kind of blessing that doesn't make sense. And if you're not grounded, you won't know how to manage it.